Hey friends, I'm Emily Powell, a functional trainer and intuitive healing practitioner, and I wanted to just share a testimonial from myself that fixing flat feet and in getting proper core and breath engagement is possible. I have been a personal trainer. I have been working in the fitness and health industry for a long time. Where are we at? 15, 16 years. I have been an athlete for my entire life. I have been very interested in health and wellness my whole life, and I had flat feet from the get-go. And I went to doctors, I went to surgeons, I went to specialists, and was told it's hereditary, you have flat feet, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be that way for life. So you can use orthotics, you can just have flat feet. And I even had bunionectomies to try to help improve my foot health in general and alignment and posture. And I continued having flat feet, and I was a good girl, and I wore my orthotics day and night, or not asleep, but all day long, avoided sandals so that I would always have my orthotics in. Unfortunately, that can make the arch even weaker because it's having a crutch of something holding it up. Anywho, but guess what? I do not have flat feet anymore. Woo! So it took a couple decades to find what would help train my feet to stop being flat, but I finally found it, and a major component of it was DNS, Dynamic Neuromuscular Stabilization. I did a combination of a few other things as well, but DNS and foot intrinsic exercises had a big effect. Energy work, body code also had a really big effect. But I don't have flat feet anymore, and I can engage my arches, I can control my feet. You know, one side note, the surgery I had on each of my feet, one of them didn't go as well, so that side isn't as aligned as the other one, and I have to put extra effort into it, and probably will for a long time, maybe my whole life, but I can do it. My feet are not flat. Second testimonial, I did not have core engagement my whole life. I did gymnastics, so I did tumbling, I did tennis, I did basketball, I did sprinting, I did ballroom dance. I was very physically active and had a sway back the whole time. Had a sway back. My lower back was too arched and my core did not activate properly. And I just had to activate my core manually by thinking about it, by choosing to, by thinking as long as I could throughout the day about my core, about pull it in, about try to engage it, try to stand up straight, which ironically leads to dysfunctional core activation. So I already had dysfunctional core activation. Adding that was a separate type of dysfunction. But I'd worked at it. I did Pilates, I did yoga, I went to the gym, I was always exercising, but whatever I did didn't fix my core activation and stability. So, side note, the core has 4 major muscles around the core wall. The pelvic floor at the base of the pelvis is involved, the diaphragm at the top of the abdominal cavity is involved. All of those muscles are supposed to work together, and they're supposed to pressurize your abdominal cavity to support your low back, your lumbar spine, and help hold your spine upright, and help connect your ribcage to your pelvis so your spine's in alignment, and all the while breathing and not holding your breath because you're holding in your stomach. And today I have much more functional core activation. So your core activation and all of your stability muscles, the little ones around all your joints, are not supposed to be manual. You're not supposed to have to think about it. It's supposed to be automatic. And that is one of my favorite things about dynamic neuromuscular stabilization, is it programs at the neurological level without you needing to manually be doing it, and it reintegrates or initiates your own programming. So babies in tummy time is crucial. Like, I can testify of this. During tummy time and then each consecutive developmental progression, the body is downloading how to do core stability. And if you skip any of those steps, It's not ideal. It's not good news for the body because every step builds upon the previous step, and they all build on the very first step, which is core stability. So, huzzah! I wanted to share my breathing was dysfunctional, my core activation was dysfunctional my whole life for the first couple decades until I found dynamic neuromuscular stabilization. I did a combination of several other things and they all were helpful, and I feel like DNS had the biggest impact because some things I think my nervous system hadn't programmed the first time around. But luckily, no matter what age you are, you can program your nervous system now. Another side note, with DNS, which is just taking your body through all the developmental positions to help your nervous system download the data that it downloads in each position. Normal development is that you do all of them as an infant and toddler and receive all of that data, and your system is equipped with all that software. If you skip any of the steps or you don't go through any of the steps, your system doesn't have that software, and it will need to try to make up its own, which will not be as high quality of movement as what it's supposed to be. But anybody can lose some of their programming through inactivity or through injury or through stress and getting into dysfunctional breathing. But anybody can do tune-up on their developmental movement, which is awesome. It takes time and it's a commitment, but it can be done. And then you can breathe normally in a functional way, and your core can activate normally in a functional way and not have a swayed low back, not have postural issues. It is possible, and so I just wanted to share that. And in fact, I'm going to share a couple of my favorite dynamic neuromuscular stabilization resources in the description, but you can also go find a lot more. There is a lot available.